Williams, and Jonathan Grenard kind of got fooled.
Well, and if you look, let's see here. Is that Kmet for the Bears?
That's a tight end blocking him.
Yeah,
and,
but you don't see what his hands are doing. He could be giving him a little bit of pressure to kind of pull him back too, a little bit.
I see that as a very athletic play from Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
He sees the front side pressure at the last second. He's able to give a kind of pressure step and make the move on Grenard. But as far as games being rigged, I won't go as far as to say they're rigged, but I will say 100%, and I really saw this the first time ever when Brady was in Tampa Bay. I kind of feel like officials early in a game, what the NFL wants the most viewers possible on games, and they need to keep it within the point spread or a close game, a one-possession game in the fourth quarter to have that happen, and I 100% do believe that there is influence from the officials in that aspect of games, where officials will, hey, I don't know how it gets communicated to them, or they just know what they're supposed to do, but if they're gonna keep a team close if it's supposed to be a one-possession game.
No, we do have a referee that listens to the show. His name's, we call him Referee Fred. I've actually bowled with him, and he is a NFL. He was a college referee and an NFL referee. He still is. And he says that they do not they don't get any rules from anybody about trying to keep the game closed or anything like that.
I mean, I believe what he's saying, but I think there's higher powers out there that are helping keep those games close. Because again, it is a business. I think everything that happens on the field by the players is legit, but I just believe that there are times where you screwed up a call. It's human nature to need to make up a call. And the NFL, there's stuff that comes in from up top? From up top or from the home center, which is in New York, or it comes in from the command center. And you never know who's really in charge of that. And because it's a business. It is a business, and their business is to get the most eyeballs on games. The most eyeballs come when there's a close game.
Does that answer your question, Mike?
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Got to get back to work.
All right, man.
Thank you for the call, Mike. That was the Caleb Williams play. That's a really good job by Williams, seeing that at the last second and avoiding it. Caleb Williams is a very athletic quarterback, and Jonathan Grenard is leaning with a tight end on him. And
Cole Kmet. Yeah. You can see he has his arm in the back a little bit, arm in the front.
Yep, it looks awkward, but Caleb Williams did a really good job there of seeing that last second and avoiding it. And Caleb Williams, he can scramble quite a bit.
And it goes with how society is nowadays, is that everything is a conspiracy. Nothing can be legit. Well,
I mean, when we get lied to nonstop, we have to have conspiracy theories.
Exactly. But I mean, speaking of the replays, I do kind of like how ACC or ESPN, how they let you inside when they're doing the replays with the referees.
Yeah, they have.
I kind of like that inside look of it.
Yeah, it's been good. And have you seen how transparent the UFL is?
No, I have not.
The UFL's command center is public. It's right there. It's right there. They're showing you everything that's going on. Like with ESPN, you're not getting the actual command center. You're getting you're getting a retired official's perspective from it.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now talking about the replays, I wanted to show.
There you go. Deuce Robinson right there.
So.
Still bobbling.
Let's see here. I kind of want to not do a short. Let's see if I can find it in real time. Because
there you go. That's a pretty good one there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make it big. But let's just see. So you're saying that it was a good call?
I think it was a correct call, being incomplete.
So because he only gets you.
Well, you tell me when he possesses the ball. Still not yet. Nope, obviously not yet.
Bobbling it. Gets his left arm, bobbling it back to his right. He's gathering himself. And right there.
Watch, keep going. He does not have the ball yet. It still moves again.
But isn't that his way? Couldn't you say that's his fingers adjusting it down to get it to put it in?
Keep watching and you'll agree with me. It's still moving. You see the seams moving. You see it's not sticking on his fingers yet until, see, his left hand's not even on the ball right there, the same position.
So where do you say he has the position, right?
No, still not yet. Still not. See, his hands are not even on the ball.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And now he's off the ground, and now I would say possession when his hands squeeze the ball right there. So he's obviously out.
So, and he has the ball on top of the, okay.
Yeah, so I think that's a pretty clear cut out of bounds. And it's just shocking for a guy. He had a great night. I mean, I think he had, 9 for 150 yards or something like that. And he lost focus briefly, and you got to catch the ball. You got to catch the ball clean, and you got to watch it in. And
I mean, that could be, that's
it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Next play, obviously, the guy gets trampled once they come on. I mean, that's as fast as possible.
Yep.
Have you ever been part of a stadium being let out while you're on the losing side of it?
Ooh. Rutgers, when we were number 2 at USF at Rutgers, they stormed the field pretty good. And it's just, you kind of realize you got to get out of there real quick.
So what did you do? Because I know you've been a part of it when USF beat West Virginia here in Tampa.
So
what do you do when
Rutgers, they were on us quick. They stormed the field real quick. And I didn't know anybody from Rutgers personally. I wasn't going to hang around and try to dap anybody up for Rutgers that I knew. I didn't have any coaches there. So it's just hey, I'm going to the locker room and trying not to get involved in anything with fans.
So you pretty much just ran out.
Yeah, just jog off. And that's the thing. And I think teams, the stadium PA should kind of make, in the fourth quarter of a game, hey, they don't want people to storm the field, obviously, but just make sure guys know, if you storm the field, don't freaking touch the opposing team or coaches. Be out there to celebrate, but at some point, somebody's going to get knocked out because they get in somebody's face or they touch an opposing player, and it's
like Garrett Blunt. What happened with him?
I mean, that was an opposing player, and that was,
yeah, but I'm saying is that they still, everyone was going on there, and
so the LeGarrette Blunt situation was interesting because LeGarrette Blunt talked a ton of shit prior to that game, and if you remember, Boise completely shut him out.
Yeah, they did.
I think they beat him. I think they held him into maybe it was 19-14 or something. It was some crazy low-scoring game for Oregon, and that player Byron Hout just went up to him and was, hey, basically just talking shit, and Blunt popped him with a nice one to the chin, loose chin, dropped him. But so going back to the field stormings, I was part of one when Rutgers beat us when we were number 2. And at USF, TSA, back then, I was part of it when we beat Louisville in 2005. I actually saw some of our own students get tased in that game where we beat Louisville 41-9. So TSA kind of, NFL stadiums have more security and all that. The Virginia one was quite interesting because the whole student section's a hill. Yeah. So there's no retaining wall, and it's just a madhouse.
It's just a rope.
Yep.
And that they were on top of that Florida State guy. I mean, you can tell that he was just, I can only imagine him just trying to get out of there.
Yeah. Yep. There were 2 UVA players celebrating, and then the player, Squirrel White, was obviously, you're like, holy smokes, where is he? But apparently everything was fine, thankfully. But and the other one I was a part of when we beat Kansas here in 2008 at Raymond James. We had a real big comeback, and we kicked a game-winning field goal. I was holding for it, and it was a nice little draw. It was about a 38, right around, I think just inside of a 40-yard field goal. Started off at the right upright and had a little baby draw, Maikon Banani, and as soon as it started drawing in, and I knew it was in, it goes in, game's over. I think I gave him a little hug, and I'm like, dude, this kicker's about to get stormed and dogpiled. Now I don't want to get dogpiled, so I'm going to go somewhere else.
And you got out of there.
Got out of there. Yeah, I don't want to get dogpiled. Not by 50 guys who weigh 270 pounds.
So that was Friday. I mean, there was a couple others, but
that was the big one Friday. And then the game after that, the late game, TCU, Arizona State, great game, came down to the wire. 2 teams in the Big 12 that are both good. They're both borderline top 25s, and Arizona State, now they're 2-0 in the Big 12. So that's a big win for the returning champs. They're defending champs of that league.
Oregon beats Penn State.
Man, Penn State did nothing offensively until the fourth quarter, or until late in the third quarter, it felt like. And that quarterback Drew Aller is 6'6" with a rocket arm. He seems very slow-footed to me, and he doesn't have that clutch gene. Same with James Franklin. Great coach, but his record against top 10 teams, and most people's record against top 10 teams is bad, but Penn State's always a top 10 team. The only time they're playing teams with equal talent to them, it's a top 10 game, and their record is what? 1-12, 1-14.
It's not good.
Yeah, so he's a great coach, but they cannot get over that hump. And just like last year, they lose in the Final Four to Notre Dame, right? They were 2.5 touchdowns better than Notre Dame, but it was like a tie game at halftime. You just know when a team hangs around, they're going to end up winning. Like Penn State was vastly superior. They were dominating the game and ended up losing, but that was last year. Anyway, the other day, Oregon, that was Dante Moore's first big road test, and he is really good.
Well, no, I've heard people say that Penn State's offense is very vanilla, very basic.
So their style of play is to win games low scoring. And they brought in Andy Kotelnicki, offensive coordinator. This is his second year now, to try to be more of a modern offense. And they are a great offense against everybody else. But then when they play these really good teams, they revert back to it seems like they revert back to being like a power team, and it's going to be a low scoring game. And obviously this one was 17-17 regulation. That's an extremely low scoring game. That's how it seems like Penn State can't score a lot of points against really good teams.
And then you got another where Ole Miss took care of business against LSU.
LSU's offense is not right, and I heard a lot more people say it the other day. Garrett Nussmeier does not seem healthy. His arm, the way the ball. First time I saw him throw, obviously he was a first-year starter last year, replacing Jaden Daniels, who Heisman, number 2 pick for the Redskins. Sorry. Number 2 pick, Garrett Nussmeier comes in and doesn't miss a beat passing. He obviously isn't the runner Jaden Daniels is, but you watch him throw the ball last year. I mean, he can throw. He makes every throw on the field look easy, beautiful tight balls everywhere he throws. And this year, it's just not the same. So I think he's dealing with some sort of an injury.
Now, Ole Miss, I believe they jumped to number 4.
They're up high now.
I know they jumped up there.
4.
So are you taking it that Ole Miss is one of the favorites to win the SEC, or just because?
So look at that schedule. They have Washington. They have a bye week. Great time for a bye week. They're going to whoop up on Washington State. Obviously, bad football team, Washington State. Then they have that Georgia-Oklahoma stretch with both away. We don't know if John Mateer will be playing for Oklahoma, but both of those teams are tough regardless. But even if they lose those two, they win out. They're 10-2. They're in the playoffs. So if Ole Miss doesn't make the playoffs this year, and they need to stick with that quarterback, obviously I think everybody's in the same boat. Chambliss is a better quarterback than Austin Simmons. Trinidad Chambliss, coming from Division II Ferris State, somehow ends up at Ferris State. Nobody wanted him 5 years ago, and now he's going to be with Lane Kiffin's offense. If he stays healthy, he might win the Heisman.
What makes Lane Kiffin's offense that much different than the average offense?
It's Charlie Weiss Jr. and Lane Kiffin. Charlie Weiss Jr., you remember when he was here at USF? Yeah, he left to go back under Lane. Obviously, a lot of money at Ole Miss and a coach he was familiar with. But Lane Kiffin is a brilliant offensive mind. There's a reason he was a head coach in the NFL at like 32. And that was the things he was doing in the NFL are completely different than he's doing in college now. I mean, the NFL was a straight-up passing offense. He had been offensive coordinator at USC with straight-up NFL-style quarterbacks, and now you see from Jackson Dart to Trinidad Chambliss, Austin Simmons, they're running the ball a lot of different ways. Like they've had running backs at Ole Miss for the last few years before Judkins went to Ohio State, and they've been really good at the running back position. These up-tempo teams, the key to these up-tempo teams, high-flying offenses, to be able to establish the run, and they always find a way to run the ball. And Lane Kiffin, he's just a great offensive mind. I wish I knew him. I wish I'd ever sat in a meeting room with him, but he gets open receivers, he can recruit well, and they know how to run the ball.
Yeah, and they're definitely I thought that was going to be I feel like LSU, it made it a lot closer than what it could have been.
Yes, 24-19 game that was not that close.
Yes.
Yeah. And then but LSU, their defense is still good. I mean, they held that Ole Miss. They're not getting much help from their offense right now at LSU, but their defense is keeping them in games. And we look at LSU when it comes to the playoffs, LSU, South Carolina, Vandy, A&M, Bama, Oklahoma are still. You got to get to 10-2, or Brian Kelly goes 9-3. He'll be on the hot seat. So he's got to win.
Oof, that's gonna be that's gonna be tough. Obviously, you just read it off. Home against South Carolina, at Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
That's lucky home at Texas A&M.
Yep.
And then at Alabama.
Yep. Which Alabama's another one of the big winners. I mean, we talked about it last week. It was the sky going to be falling in Tuscaloosa this week, or were they going to be on top of the world? And they're back on top of the world. Got to give Kalen DeBoer credit, and their quarterback played very, very, very well. He's sat there for a few years, and now it's his time to shine. He looks very prepared. He's playing with confidence. He sits back there, gets in the top of his drop, and he lets it rip with confidence. And he could have thrown a couple picks against Georgia because he's anticipating his throws. He's throwing with conviction, but he's putting a hell of a lot of mustard on the ball, and he's going to be in the Heisman hunt as well. You look at you look at Bama, his numbers, they're still not running the ball great. I know they got Jam Miller back, but they still did not run the ball great. But Ty Simpson looked very, very good. And what were those numbers the other day?
Well, for the season, he's 1,100 yards, 11 TDs, 0 interceptions. And against Georgia, it was 276 yards, 2 TDs, and obviously
that's yeah. His QBR was 90.1 against that Georgia defense. That's really good.
And look at that right there.
And click on his rushing. He gets some yards with his legs.
Okay, yeah, he
had a touchdown. But he's getting a couple first downs a game. I remember last year he had one of the plays. He had like a 70-yard touchdown run where he dropped the ball at the 1-yard line. He did that idiot Deshaun Jackson celebration. Which I just can't believe guys are still doing.
Yeah, no kidding. This is a big one. If you look right here, I mean, obviously, different team.
What are we looking at?
The sacks. He took 0 sacks. He took 1 against Wisconsin.
3 against Florida State. That's right there. 3 against Florida State. So I don't distinctly remember if those against Florida State were his fault. If it was the O-line, he was holding the ball. I don't know, but. He hadn't played football in 3 years, basically. You know what I mean? He sat there. He sat behind Milroe. He was a highly recruited kid, and his dad's a coach at Tennessee Martin. So, I mean, he knows football, and he was obviously talented enough to be a Bama quarterback, and now he's developing confidence. And let's take a look at the Bama schedule as we move forward. I know they got Vanderbilt this week, which is huge. They got a nice gauntlet. That's a tough schedule.
And Missouri, I feel like Missouri is under the radar.
They are.
Every year. Every year Missouri's under the radar.
The last 3 years, it's taken Drinkwitz a few years to get that program going, but now they've had 2 straight 10-win seasons, and then this year it looks like they're going to be a very good team as well. But after what we saw the other day, Bama fans, I think they look at that schedule the way they did 2 years ago when they had Saban. There's not a team on there that they're not going to feel confident they can beat.
That's the way you got to go into games.
Which they will now. I mean, and you got to feel happy for DeBoer. Obviously, it's so tough to replace a legend, and they looked extremely prepared and well coached in that game, and they played hard as hell, and they got a great test coming in. We'll talk about Vandy in a little bit.
And then you got, Auburn. We talked about that. Hugh Freeze being on the hot seat. Obviously, it doesn't help. 16-10 against Texas A&M, number 9 at Texas A&M.
A&M's got a very good defense. Elko's a defensive-minded coach. Auburn's a good team this year. Their expectations. Auburn's a great football school, and they just have been underachieving. I think we talked about it last week. Auburn needs to get to 7 wins. They need to get to 7 wins, and their schedule is tough. I mean, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Mercer obviously should be wins. They got to knock off one more. They got to knock off another ranked team to get to 7. But Texas A&M's in a great spot now.
Yes.
They're in a really good spot. They're undefeated. They pulled that out against Notre Dame, and they beat Auburn, obviously, which is Auburn's a tough matchup. They got good players always. Mm-hmm. But you look at A&M now has Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas. They should be sitting at 7-0 when they go into LSU, and that'll be another huge game for both teams.
Yeah, at LSU, and then they go at Missouri, and then South Carolina, Samford, and then end the season with Texas.
Yep. Did you watch Ohio State at all?
Yes, I did. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't as impressed as I should have been.
All right, let's hear your thoughts on it, on the Ohio State team that you saw.
So when I'm thinking a number one team and a flat out number one team, they're just going to come out and completely dominate, right? I know Washington is not a cupcake in the Big Ten, but going into halftime at 7-3, I'm expecting, just from all the hoopla of number one Ohio State, and I know it's hard every game to be up and going, but when it's 7-3 at halftime, it wasn't exciting. It didn't feel like a number one team. Because I went in my hopes of seeing a team that was going to be like, wow, like this. Okay, defensively
they're very good. They're very, very good. And they had a conservative game plan. They've got that. Obviously, Julian Sands started against Texas, who's a great defense, and they're kind of taking his training wheels off, and he's playing good football. They know how they can play very conservative and win a road game 24-6. And their defense is good enough. Punting is not the worst thing in the world if you're Ohio State. Don't turn the ball over. Play solid football. Eventually, in the third, fourth quarter, you wear teams down. Which is what good teams do.
And
that is an incredibly tough environment to go to Washington. Also, I mean, it's a madhouse up there, and walking out of there 24-6, they're more than happy with it. I mean, the spread was that was a 1-touchdown spread, so obviously Vegas had faith in Washington being a good team. And then we look at Ohio State's schedule: Minnesota, Illinois. They got Penn State. I mean, they've got a 3-game schedule at this point. Penn State's a great matchup, Michigan's a great matchup, and Illinois is ranked.
Were you impressed? Were you impressed with Ohio State? I know you've watched a lot of their games, but were you impressed with them?
It's honestly a little bit boring to watch them right now. And
so you thought of how I felt. I was a little bored.
But defensively, you see, it's gonna be really difficult for teams to score 20 points on them. I mean, really, really difficult.
What's the fastest? What's the best team that? I didn't say fastest because it's got to be complete. What would give the Ohio State currently the best run for their money?
On their
so far?
Oregon.
No, not even on their schedule. Let's say we get in the playoffs. Who's going to give them a run for their money?
Oh, just in terms of talent, you've got Oregon, you've got Alabama, Georgia. I mean, those. I think everybody in college football, everybody in the world knows when you see Georgia, you're getting NFL players. When you see Alabama, you're getting NFL players. Penn State's kind of the same way, but they just can't score points against good teams like we talked about. But when you look at the top 25, so Ohio State, Oregon, and I left out Miami right there. Miami's got the team. They've got the talent this year to compete with Ohio State. Maybe we get that matchup in either the semifinals or the finals. I don't know. But Ohio State, Oregon, Miami.
Ole Miss.
Those three, as well as Georgia, even though Georgia's down at 12, we know Georgia's talent level. We know their talent level is elite. We know Alabama's talent level is elite. They have kind of question marks at quarterback, which I think Alabama is answering those question marks. And everybody's been sitting there not talking about Texas this year. Obviously, they lost that great matchup in week 1, and Arch hasn't looked great. But Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon, Miami, Alabama, those are the most talented teams. And I'll throw Texas in there as well. They've been to the Final Four the last 2 years, right? So,
what do you think of Indiana? I mean, Indiana's coming up.
That was a great win.
Spots.
Winning at Iowa, that was a great win. And Curt Cignetti you've got to have him among the best coaches in college football at this point. I don't think you can have a top 10 list without him being on there, just based on the fact that he's proven last year wasn't a fluke, and they're really, really good. They are really good. To do what they did to a good Illinois team and then go into Iowa, which you know how Iowa plays. You got to go in there, and it's basically first team to 20 wins, and they got
grind.
And they got to 20, and they're good. I mean, he's a great coach. They find ways to win.
They got a bye week this week, which is nice, coming up against Oregon at Oregon.
That'll be huge. Yeah, that'll be great. I mean, that's
their first test.
Game day's going to be there, I assume. I would imagine. That's going to be a great test, and see how they do against one of the elite talent teams.
How do you see that? Look at watching both teams. How do you see that's going to make out?
Oregon, I'll say Oregon by double digits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think there's still a talent gap. I think Oregon does have that elite talent. I think Indiana has elite coaching and very, very good talent, but they are not that level talent to compete with Oregon on the road in that environment. But that's for next week.
Yeah, of course. But, I was like looking at a little bit, that's one thing. You always like look a little ahead.
A little ahead, always. Did you watch the Tennessee-Mississippi State game?
No, I did not.
That was a great game. I think, was that in the 3:30 window or was that new? I forget. But
I think that was that was a cutoff. That was a 1 o'clock. No, it was 12 o'clock
12 o'clock game.
Yeah.
It was a back and forth game, and Mississippi State proved that they are much better this year. I was disappointed. I would have liked to see them win that game. I thought they played a really good football game, but obviously looking at the stats, Tennessee outgained them. 3 turnovers to 2, a little bit sloppy in the turnover department, but Tennessee's a really good team. That's going to end up being a really good win on the road. But Mississippi State, looking at their schedule, how many wins are they going to end the season with? The schedule's going to get tough. Holy smokes.
Ooh.
That is a brutal schedule coming up.
At Texas this weekend. At Texas A&M.
Brutal schedule.
And then Florida, they should be fine against Florida. And then obviously Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, Missouri, Ole Miss to close it out. The last 5. Well, it doesn't even matter. The whole schedule is
pretty tough.
Yeah.
That's brutal. But Jeff Lebby's done a really good job turning that program around to where they're losing it in overtime to Tennessee in year 2 after being non-competitive last year.
Now, was that in?
That was in Starkville.
Okay.
That was in Starkville.
Which makes a little bit of a difference.
It does. The Cowbells. Georgia Tech, Wake Forest was another one. Wake Forest. God dang. That was Georgia Tech pulled it out by the skin of their teeth. And Wake was up 20-3 in the third quarter. And
Georgia Tech just came in to be a better team, 5-0.
Georgia Tech finds ways to win. They have we've talked about him last week. Haynes King is an incredibly tough quarterback. He's the type of quarterback I want leading my team. And they pulled it out on the road against I think Wake's okay. Have you watched Claiborne, the running back for Wake?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fast. I don't think he's as good as Jahmyr Gibbs was in college, but I'll call him a poor man's Jahmyr Gibbs.
And you called didn't you call King? He's kind of like a little Baker.
I would say Haynes King's an electric runner. He's a track star in high school. He's a state finalist in the 200 and the 400.
Oh, really?
In Texas. He can really, really run. He's got long strides, but who would I compare Haynes King to? A smaller, faster Josh Allen. Is that even a great comparison? There's nobody that plays like him in the NFL, honestly.
Really?
No, and I don't know if he'll even be drafted, but he's a great college quarterback.
I was just watching a little bit of his highlights right there.
Oh, he can run. He can really run. I don't know if he's a good enough passer to be a draft pick, but he's going to run really well. And I think he's not even that big. I think he's 6'2.5", 205.
6'3",
215. So I bet he's 6'2", 210 at the combine tops. And arm strength is decent, but he's a great runner. He's a definition of a great college quarterback. And they're undefeated at 5-0, and in the ACC, they got a lot of wins on that schedule. There's a very good possibility they could be 11-0 going into Georgia.
Really?
Look at that.
Now let's see here. We got Virginia Tech. They play at Georgia Tech. So we got Virginia Tech, Duke, Syracuse, NC State, Boston College, Pitt, and Georgia.
There's a very real, but there's also a good chance that they could lose 2 of those games.
Yeah, they could lose NC. Because it seems like Duke, like those schools that are just right there, like almost like at that level of 500, like the Syracuse would probably give them Duke, NC State, because NC State and Duke are both at their home.
Yeah, and both are solid teams. Duke nobody talks about Duke. Duke won 9 games last year, Manny Diaz's first year, and they went out and got an $8 million quarterback. They got Darian Mensah from Tulane, and he's been very good this year. They're sitting there at 3-2, Duke. They beat the hell out of Syracuse and NC State 2 weeks ago. They beat them, so they're a good team. Like they're a pretty competitive team, and they're going to be. Mensah has thrown for 1573, 13 touchdowns, 2 picks. They're getting their money's worth out of him.
They couldn't beat his old team, Tulane.
Correct, yeah. Correct.
34-27.
Yep, that's correct. That's always interesting when in modern football he got poached. But yeah, so let's keep an eye on Georgia Tech. Obviously, the ACC is not as competitive, but there's Georgia Tech's not elite talent where they're just going to run through everybody and end up 11-0 before they play Georgia.
They're going to have to grind it out.
They will. They'll have to grind it out. Vanderbilt offense looks great. That was a close game for a little bit, but look at what they've done. I mean, they put up 44 against Virginia Tech, 31 against South Carolina. I won't even mention Georgia State, and then 55 against Utah State.
Yeah.
I mean, they're scoring a lot of points. I'm a huge Diego Pavia fan. He's really good. They got Bama this coming week. It's going to be electric in Tuscaloosa. Great matchup. The other good one at that noon game was Illinois almost blew it to USC. I'm sure you saw those highlights.
I did.
That ended up being an incredibly entertaining game, and USC couldn't quite get there, and that's going to be big in the end of this at the end for Lincoln Riley because they're going to lose a couple more games. They go right on the road. They got a bye week. They got Michigan and Notre Dame.
And then they play at Nebraska, which is, like you said, is a tough
Nebraska's
place to play.
tough, and they play at Oregon. So does USC get to 9 wins this year? That'll be a good season for them, but it's not really what you paid for when you got Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma. You expected better.
He's not on the hot seat, right?
Not yet.
You think another year?
If they go 7-5, he's on the hot seat, but 9 wins keeps him relatively safe, in my opinion.
And then BYU took care of Colorado.
The late game, Colorado got the lead early, and BYU grinds it out. BYU's a tough football team. They're playing with a freshman quarterback, and those are pretty good numbers. 19-27 for 179, plus he's tough. Rushed for 98 yards. So BYU got it done. That was too late for me, but Colorado only managed 291 yards offense and only 119 in the air. That's not. They're still kind of lost on offense. But again, BYU is undefeated. BYU, their schedule, Big 12, it's a bunch of mediocre teams.
I mean, they're a good team.
BYU's a good team.
And Colorado, say a lot of people are happy that Deion's struggling.
Oh yeah, Deion's polarizing, so you're going to get a lot of people on both sides of the fence.
But I mean, Colorado, it's not. The Colorado's not going back to their 1-10 ways.
No, he's elevated the talent there where they're competitive. When he stepped in, you got to give Deion credit because when he took over, that program was awful. Obviously, he had his son. And then he had the Heisman winner Travis Hunter come in, and a whole bunch of other players transfer in. But they went 4-8 his first year, 9-3 last year, lost the bowl game, and this year they're going to probably hover right around 500. But they're a competitive team again, even with that loss and even with losing the Heisman Trophy winner and as well as an NFL draft pick at quarterback. So. The program is in good shape right now. Let's see if they can get back to being in contention for the Big 12 in the next 2 years. This year, bowl game would be good. I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah, we did.
If they can make a bowl game this year, that'll be a good season. But BYU, Big 12. Big 12 is a bunch of solid teams. Nobody stands out right now. Probably Texas Tech looks to be the best team with the best win. They went to Utah, who we know is good, and beat them bad. So we'll see. But let's check out the schedule this week.
Yes, here we are.
College this week, the top 25. Okay, Friday we got BYU as a late game again.
They love those Friday games against West Virginia.
Before we talk about the top 25, the Friday brings me to the USF game. USF at home Friday night against Charlotte at 7. I think they're about 24-point favorites.
It's got an opening at 26.
Ooh, it's already moved.
So money's going on Charlotte.
No, money's going on USF.
You said
right?
Is it going down?
No, it's going up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Although it says it opens at 28.5. So it's open, and now it's 26.
Yeah,
so
26.
It is. All right, so it is going.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points to cover, but USF, Vegas is high on us right now. I'm happy to see it. Charlotte isn't real good right now, obviously. Click on their schedule. Let me see who they played. I saw them lose to Rice last week.
They beat the
their only win is Monmouth.
Yeah, which they barely squeezed that one out.
App State whooped them. North Carolina beat them, and Rice is running triple option now, so it's different. But South Florida, Big game on Friday. Start the conference slate. See if I look for USF to win this game. I look for USF to keep Charlotte under. Charlotte's not going to get to 20 points.
Okay.
I'm gonna say something mid-30s to 17. So I don't think USF's going to cover, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say because that 26 is going to be a lot.
If we look at it right now, you tell me USF wins 38 to 17, and we dominate the game thoroughly, and it's never really in question. I'll take that right now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it should be anywhere on a point spread basis is like 17 to 20.
17 to 21. I think 20. Yeah, 4 touchdowns is a lot, and but I mean. Hey, Vegas is normally pretty good. I hope Vegas is right. But let's see. Friday at 7. Look forward to it. Look forward to seeing a good atmosphere. Student section is normally very, very packed on a night game, and I hope it's a great atmosphere. And
ESPN game.
Game. It should be loud. It
should be exciting.
Other big games on Saturday. Well, West Virginia at BYU Friday night. I'll watch a little bit of that when I get home from that USF game. We'll see, but I expect BYU to handle West Virginia well. They'll wear them down.
That's at 18.5 right now.
Yeah, West Virginia doesn't look very good this year.
Yeah, he's got to get his guys there.
He does, and then
it takes time.
The early window, Kentucky, Georgia. Kentucky's not too good right now, but Georgia needs a bounce back.
And they should get that playing at home.
They should. They're going to win. I still don't think their quarterback played great against Tennessee. I thought he was okay against Alabama. Gunnar Stockton, his numbers ended up, they didn't throw the ball that much. I mean, I guess Bama had the ball. Bama dominated time of possession. But Georgia did run the ball well, which is surprising to run the ball that well and lose. But like we said, we know Georgia has elite talent. They're kind of going to go as their quarterback goes, and we shall see we shall see how they bounce back. They've got Kentucky and Auburn before they play Ole Miss. They should be sitting at 5-1 in a couple weeks, getting ready for Ole Miss.
This one's surprising, just on the point spread level, is Iowa State at Cincinnati. It says right now Cincinnati is favored by 1.5.
Cincinnati can score points. Their quarterback's good. Did you see any of that Kansas game? Cincinnati at KU?
No.
That was a wild game. I'll click on that. Let me click on that. And 37-34, Cincinnati won. They scored with like 10 seconds left in the game. But Kansas was a back-and-forth game the whole time. I think the biggest lead was 7 points in either direction. And the quarterback play was outstanding. Jaden Daniels for Kansas, 19-28 for 445.
1,200 total yards between both teams.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was one of those Big 12 track meets. Which is
I used to love watching, when the Big 12 with Baylor.
Oh, Texas Tech.
Oh, yeah.
With Art Briles at Baylor. It was very exciting. And before that, I used to love the Conference USA games with Houston when Case Keenum was their quarterback for about 14 years.
Always about 50. It was always like 100-point game between the two teams, 120-point game between the two teams.
It was awesome. So that is interesting, though, that Cincinnati is a 1-point favorite.
Yeah, 1.5. Yeah, especially at home. Michigan going to probably take care of.
Wisconsin's bad, and he's on the hot seat for sure.
Yeah, then you got Illinois and Purdue.
I look for Illinois to bounce back, or not bounce back. 2 weeks ago, they had to bounce back and beat USC, but I look for Illinois and Bielema to win this game against Purdue, get to 5-1, continue on with their playoff hunt.
Yeah, because you're looking at this. I mean, most of these you got Pittsburgh. I mean, these aren't super sexy, exciting games.
No,
it's kind of like a smash mouth.
Last week was a great matchup, great slate. This week's a little more mild.
Yeah,
but take a look at Illinois' schedule. They go to Ohio State next week. So Ohio State comes to them.
Yeah. 12 o'clock.
But other than that, I see a lot of wins on. We can easily see Illinois sitting there at 10-2, finishing the season. Look at that schedule.
Yeah, they got Ohio State, Washington, Rutgers. Rutgers is going to play you hard.
Oh, they're going to play as hard. Schiano's teams play hard as hell.
Maryland, Wisconsin, and Northwestern.
Maryland's got a great freshman quarterback that's probably going to save their coach's job. I don't know if you watched him yet, but if you get a chance, anybody out there, if you get a chance to watch Maryland. This freshman quarterback they have is pretty spectacular. So
interesting. I have to watch. Let's see where Maryland is this week.
Yeah, let's click on Maryland and let's see. They're 4-0. They're playing
Here we go to do Maryland. Here we go.
At Washington. Or they have Washington comes to Maryland.
A 3:30 game.
So looking at that schedule right now, you got 3 games in a row against winnable teams. We could very easily see Maryland at 7-0 hosting Indiana in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Could. Or they could be 4-3. I don't know. But this freshman quarterback, Malik Washington, is really good. He is really, really good.
So you're thinking, let's see here. Yeah, because they got Indiana, Rutgers, Illinois, Michigan, and Michigan State. I mean, it's not the cupcake, it's the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're not going to be favorites in any like heavy favorites. The way when I look at Illinois' schedule, other than Ohio State, I think Illinois is going to be 10-2. I think there's one loss on that schedule, and I think they're good. They're definitely going to win 9 or 10 games this year. And will that get them in the playoffs? I'm not sure.
Where we? Yeah, you got Boston College, Pittsburgh.
Clemson, UNC,
Kansas State, Baylor.
My Wildcats played a little better last week.
Yeah, they beat UCF.
That's always a nice double for me. It's like double the pleasure when
they beat UCF.
So K-State wins or USF wins. I always feel good, and then we beat UCF and it feels really good.
Then you got. I mean, like if we go to let's just say. You got Texas, Florida. I mean, there's really no chance for Florida to beat Texas, is there?
3:30 at the Swamp.
You think? I mean, if Florida wins, hypothetically, let's just hypothetically say that they pull one out of their ass against Texas. You got Archie Manning with his bum arm. Does that a little bit pull?
That will quiet
Napier off.
That will
hot
quiet
seat for
it.
a minute?
That will definitely quiet it a little bit. It'll show that they're playing hard for him. And they have a talented roster. They've got to put it together. How are they going to play after a bye week? I don't know. Like, obviously, K-State's my team. We looked terrible. We went 1-3. We had a bye week. We played much better against UCF. Looked like a completely different team. I do think we're well coached. I don't know about Florida. Florida, 1-3, looks bad. They have a bye week. How are they going to play against Texas? I don't know. It's going to say a lot about how the players feel about playing for Napier, honestly. The spread is only the total is 41.5. So Vegas thinks Florida's defense is pretty good, which obviously they are. Look what they did to they've slowed Miami better than anybody.
True.
Yeah.
They're
a good defense, and when you have a good defense like that, you can stay in any game. It's going to be tough for teams to score 30 points against Florida.
Vanderbilt at Alabama, which is now the new college game day.
10.5, Bama. Whew. And you got the best Vanderbilt team. This is he's done a great job, obviously. Pavia has been an incredible quarterback. They're putting up a ton of points. Now, obviously, the competition level steps up a ton. But, I mean, they went to Columbia 2 weeks ago and beat the dog shit out of South Carolina on the road. So they've been in a hostile environment, and is it going to be too big for Vandy? I don't think so. I think they're very competitive in that game. I do think Bama wins, but I think Vanderbilt shows that they are a legitimately really good team.
Look at that 4 games right there. Alabama, LSU, Missouri, at Texas.
Phew.
I mean, then you got Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee to finish it out too.
But Vanderbilt, that is an incredible 4-game stretch. But I have faith in Pavia. He's a great quarterback. They'll figure out. If you're a Vanderbilt fan, you see these next 4 games and say, if we go 2-2, I'm really happy. Did you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow, if you can, because I looked at USF's schedule this year, and I said we need to win one of these first 3. We won 2 of them. We won 2 of those first 3. I felt really good about it. That was realistic. Miami was just better. Vanderbilt, where are you as a program? We're going to find out over these next 4 weeks.
Yeah, if they could split it, it would be nice.
Oh, let's see it. Boise, well, you saw Notre Dame got Arkansas fired this last week,
yeah,
right?
They sure did.
And we talked about it last week. That game got Sam Pittman under 500 career record, which dropped his buyout by 25%. So they fired him. I like the big man Pittman, but he wasn't doing great. He was okay. That's going to be another big money job. Somebody's going to make $50 million to go there. We'll see. Gruden possibility. We already talked about it.
Yeah, I mean, You never know.
But let's see. I mean, we all got to root for Boise as USF fans.
Of course.
Got to root for Boise. Let's see. They can help our strength of schedule. They're going into Notre Dame Stadium. Boise's no stranger to big-time games. I'm 39 years old, and I think Boise has been a great program for about 25 to 28 of those years. They've been great since the early 2000s.
I was going to say that Fiesta Bowl.
Amazing. Beating Adrian Peterson, Oklahoma. That was Jared Zabransky.
That was who was the quarterback then?
Jared Zabransky.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, who was the other quarter?
Kellen Moore.
Yes,
Kellen Moore, the head coach of the Saints.
Yes.
Kellen Moore's college record. What did he lose? 2 games in 4 years as college quarterback? It was unbelievable. He's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the history of college football, and obviously now he's already an NFL head coach before he turns 40. So,
speaking of Arkansas, real quick, Big E has a question, which is interesting. Do you think Arkansas should go to the Big 12?
Nobody's going down to the Big 12 from the SEC.
Yeah, no one's going to not leave the SEC.
I mean, geographically, their rivals, they have the LSU, they have the battle for the boot. They also have a nice rivalry with Missouri, who's now in the SEC. I mean, the old Southwest Conference is a combination of Big 12 and SEC teams, but Arkansas fits fine in the SEC. And, I mean, I was sad to see Missouri leave for the SEC. I was sad to see Nebraska go to the Big 10. And I was sad to see Texas A&M go. I liked because the conferences used to actually be geographic, and now they're not anymore. I'm fine with Arkansas being there. They've been in the SEC a long time, and it's obviously a tough conference for them. They have to play LSU. They have to play Alabama every year. Ole Miss is really good. They have the facilities. They have the money behind them. They have the Walton family. They have Tyson Chicken. They have Jerry Jones. They have the money behind them to be good. They're going to try to make a splash higher, I think. We'll see.
Oh, there you go, Big E. I'm trying to look if there's any other really. I mean, obviously you got Miami, Florida State,
Virginia, Louisville. Does Virginia have Virginia at Louisville? They got to go to Louisville's a tough place to play. Does Virginia have that?
We are.
Does Virginia have that fall off? They have that little hangover. I think Louisville wins that game.
Really?
What's the spread? Louisville's favored by 7.5.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah, wow.
Virginia's ranked in the top 25. Louisville's undefeated. Louisville won at Pitt last week, despite giving up a pick 6, which is rare because it was kind of a 14-point swing. So Louisville came back and won that game. Miller Moss, the USC transfer, played well. That'll be a good matchup. Louisville's got to be just on the outside of the top 25. Actually, let me look at the top 25 real quick. So yeah, Louisville's just outside of it.
Just like USF is
just like USF. So let's get a win for USF, and let's get a couple teams in the 20s to lose so we can get USF back in the top 25. And man, Kent State going to Oklahoma. They've already lost at Texas Tech and at Florida State. Man, they get those checks though.
I was going to say those are some paying games though.
And this is a good game for Oklahoma's new quarterback to kind of settle in while he takes over for John Mateer, who's out for about a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is good to get him to what's the term I'm looking for, Lummy? Wet his whistle.
Wet his whistle. I like that. Yeah, there you go.
All right, 7 p.m. Interesting game. 2 undefeated teams. Texas Tech at Houston. Obviously, you've got the Texas interstate rivalry. Is it interstate or intrastate? It's interstate. It's interstate, right?
It's in your state.
Inter or intra though is my question. Everyone knows what I mean.
Yeah, of
but
course.
I'm gonna have to look that up when I leave here. What's the correct term for that? But you got a Texas rivalry. That's an old school Southwest Conference rivalry for Big E right there. That's 2 teams that were formerly in there with Arkansas. But Houston, they're a pretty good defensive team. I still do like if Texas Tech, they're favored by 10.5. They have all this money in the transfer portal coming in. They got to win that game. They got to be impressive. It's a 7 p.m. game. Houston's another team that doesn't always get a great atmosphere. That will be a great atmosphere in Houston. Minnesota's going to go into Ohio State, and that's going to be very similar to that Washington game. It's going to be low scoring, kind of boring.
Yeah, it's a 45.5-point spread over and under with a 23-point Ohio State. So it could probably pretty much be along the lines, like you were saying, of Washington, just being like a 24 or 28-point win for Ohio State.
I think Ohio State fans are fine. They won the national title last year, obviously. For them, it's survive and advance all season long. I don't think they care. They know they have the talent. They know they are one of the best teams. Let's figure out a way. Get through the regular season. They have one game that matters now. You know what I mean? They have the Michigan game. Obviously, they've already won the national title. They're not losing. Oh, look at Ohio State's schedule. I've got plenty of Ohio State friends I still talk to. Minnesota. Illinois is going to be a tough matchup. Penn State's tough. But does anybody out there think Ohio State's not going to go 10? Not going to be 10-1 going into Michigan or 11-0? I think the money would be on 10-1 or 11-0 for sure, right?
Yes.
So they're going to have a one game. They're going to have a one-game season that matters to their fans, and then it'll be playoff time.
What was that last year that Ohio State lost to Miami, Ohio, or was it the year before? Who was was it Miami, Ohio? Or was
Ohio State has not lost to an in-state opponent in I think 100 years.
Who am I thinking of then? Oh, shit.
I mean, you're talking about a major upset. Somebody lost to a MAC or a Sun Belt team.
I thought last year, yeah. That was Ohio State for some reason.
It wasn't Ohio State. They lost to Michigan. They lost to Oregon. That was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
It will come to me, and by that time, it won't really matter.
Yeah.
And then you got after that, you got the Florida State Miami game, which, that's 7:30.
It'll be that's great to see. I mean, both of these programs, we love seeing. I think any college football fan, anybody that's our age, this is what we're used to seeing. A top 5 Miami team who's ranked 3rd, ranked 2nd, depending on the poll, and a Florida State team who was ranked high, super high. Now they're 18, but this is a bunch of guys who played against each other. This is going to be an intense matchup, and these teams might see each other again, but this is a classic rivalry early in the season. We love to see it. I'm on Miami bandwagon. I am on the Miami bandwagon. I've said they are back, so I've got to stick with them. They're favored by 4.5. I definitely think Florida State plays better defense this week. They could have less mistakes and more sound, but I'm going to take Miami and I'm going to take them to cover.
Yeah, it's going to be scary if Florida State's defense does not show up, because Miami definitely does have a better running game.
Yeah,
in my opinion, than
two good running backs.
Yeah.
Two good running backs. Florida State has the running quarterback that could be an equalizer. He is limited in the pass game a lot because of his height. You can get him out of the pocket. It's easier to see, but he's a great runner. Malzahn's a really good offensive coordinator, but they still are. They're not a great just passing team. They can do a lot of cool gimmicks, and the quarterback can run, which is a huge equalizer. But Miami can physically dominate teams right now. I could easily see Miami rushing if Virginia rushed for 200 yards, Miami could easily rush for 250.
Yeah, which that's where it's going to be scary, because
and Cristobal is a former O-line coach, so I mean he would love to dominate a game like that, and they've got a really well constructed team, and obviously Carson Beck's been very good to start the year.
Yeah, Miami is a all-around good team.
They are. They're a well-constructed roster, good talent everywhere. Going to be an amazing atmosphere in the renovated Doak Campbell that now seats just under 70,000. Quite interesting to go from 82 down to 69.
Yeah, but the fans are much more comfortable.
Oh, I have one of my clients is in one of those. He's at the 10 or the 15-yard line, just above the field level, like 15 rows up. It's pretty awesome. He showed me some pictures from 2 weeks ago. It's pretty awesome.
Does Colorado have a chance against TCU? At TCU?
I think TCU wins again. Do they have a chance? Yes. TCU's favored by 13.5. I don't think Vegas obviously does not have faith in Colorado's offense. And TCU is a good team. I know they lost last week, but yeah, TCU is going to win that game. They're going to stay in the Big 12 hunt for most of the year. Colorado just cannot find their way offensively.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, that game is at 60.5 over and under too.
Yeah. TCU is not TCU scores points. They score a lot.
Yeah, look at it right there, 48, 42, 35. Then obviously Arizona State, the loss, they mustered up 24, but I mean they got to go to Kansas State.
Yeah. Yep.
And now
Mississippi State A&M, we get to see tough environment at Kyle Field. Over 100,000 there. Does Texas A&M have a letdown at all after playing Auburn? I don't know. Texas A&M, they're 4-0. They feel great about their – is this the same old Texas A&M? Are they going to blow a game? I don't know. Looking at A&M's schedule, Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas, they should be 7-0 going into LSU. But we shall see. Obviously root for them. My buddy Colin Klein's the offensive coordinator. They've got a really good team. To make the playoffs, we always talk about it, 10-2 in the SEC is going to get you in.
And if you're looking at it right now, like you're saying, they could, for Texas A&M, they could be going to LSU 7-0, which then if you look at it, realistically, they would
just like last year, it came down to the Texas game, remember?
Yeah.
They played Texas last game of the season with, I believe it was on a Friday night, the day after Thanksgiving. It looks like, it's the same this year. They're going to play on Friday night. That game was for the second berth in the SEC championship to see who was playing Georgia, and they did not get it done. And will they get it done this year? They have the talent. You see the NFL draft picks they have every year. They're a phenomenally talented team. Their quarterback he's an entrenched starter, Marcel Reed. I don't know if you've seen him. He's a very skinny guy, but he can play football.
What is he? Is he a sophomore?
I think he's a third-year sophomore.
Third-year sophomore.
6'1", 185. He's light in the ass. He is thin.
Yeah, they'll try to put the weight on him.
He's got a small frame, but he's a very talented player. He obviously he threw an interception last week, but overall he's 9 touchdowns, 2 picks on the year. Added a little bit in the run game.
Well, Michael McGinnis in chat said Ohio State's going back-to-back champs. Go Buckeyes. Yeah, I mean, look, that's
I think
from watching Ohio State and now everyone's going to say it makes me sound like I'm a homer, like a Florida homer, but from watching Ohio State and Washington to watching Miami, just any team that Miami's played, I've watched them. Miami just looks
sexier.
Yeah.
They are.
They're more exciting to watch.
They are. They also have a more experienced quarterback, even though he hadn't been there. I think Carson Beck's 24-3 at Georgia. He's played a lot of football. Ohio State is bringing Julian Sayin along slowly. I think you're going to see more aggressive play calling as the season goes on with Ohio State. But again, they don't need it. They're so talented. Is anybody going to score 20 points on Ohio State? I don't know. I would say probably right now, no, not until the playoffs. Unless if they play Oregon in the Big 12 championship, Oregon has the talent to score. But looking at their schedule, Ohio State's going to get through the whole regular season and won't let up 20 points.
Where'd Ohio State go?
You looking at their schedule?
Yeah, I was trying to find Ohio State. There it is. Click. Let's see here. Minnesota.
Ugly game.
Illinois. Wisconsin. Penn State. Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and Michigan.
They are not losing to Minnesota. They're not losing to Wisconsin. They're not losing to Purdue. They're not losing to UCLA. They're not losing to Rutgers. Illinois can give them some trouble. Penn State's got talent. But they're way better than they're an elite team. They're an elite team. They're gonna whoop up on most of the teams they play.
I mean, the way you're looking at it right now is what you're saying too, is that Penn State could literally be
Penn State has
11-2.
So Penn State
10-3.
Penn State, their season's going to come down to when they play Ohio State and Indiana back to back. At Ohio State and at home against Indiana, Penn State's more talented. Again, James Franklin recruits well. They get draft picks every year. They can't score points against the best teams. Ohio State's going to win that game, and that's a long ways away. But Penn State's going to run through the rest of their schedule just like they did last year, and it's the same Penn State team. They are until they prove that otherwise, and they didn't prove it against Oregon the other night. Oregon was a much better football team. Penn State got it to overtime because they were at home and they made a couple plays on the stretch.
And they're just going to have those nice 10-win seasons every year.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with it, but
and listen, everyone complains. They're like, oh, well, we can't get over the hump. Might as well, get a different coach or change it up a little bit. But guess what? When those 10-win seasons go away and now you're winning, I mean, look at Nebraska.
Correct.
Then you're winning 6 and 6 and 7 and 5, and you're going, shit. We need to get. We wish we had 10-win seasons.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, that's where Penn State is at right now, and they're again, we're talking about a team that was just they were in the Final Four last year. They won 2 playoff games. They've recruited really well. His overall record is phenomenal, but it's something wrong with them in big games. If he got fired from Penn State, he would get hired somewhere else basically instantly. I'm sure Florida would love to have him. I'm sure Arkansas would love to have him. I mean, he's a really good coach, but sometimes you're a victim of your own success. And I mean, if I'm Penn State, do I fire Franklin? No. He's I say that when you're that good, when you're constantly winning 10+ games, you are going to break through at some point. But are Penn State fans going to be patient enough when we're sitting here in 2032 and they're still haven't won a national title, but they've been to the playoffs 6 out of the last 9 years? Or I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but most fans aren't patient. You see it in everything.
But the fans make the noise, but who writes the checks? That's who decides on who gets fired.
But
right?
I mean, yeah, but also the alumni.
That's what I mean. The check writers.
The alumni start getting tired. They start getting tired too of winning 10 games.
Yeah, they do. Alabama's first year with DeBoer, they go 9-3. You would have thought they went 3-9, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at listen, this is a long time ago, but you look at Bobby Bowden, and I remember Bobby Bowden started having his crap years, but his crap years were still making the bowl game. He was still getting 8 wins a year.
I think they had their amazing stat, wasn't it 11 straight seasons they finished in the top 5?
Yeah.
That's an incredible stat.
And then they started,
they went down. Yeah.
Rules of football changed at that point too.
It did.
And so, I mean, that changed it, and now you're almost, not now. Yeah, for the most part, but before, I would say, 2 years ago, when they were looking at it, they were hoping that they would have a coach, after Jimbo Fisher left to high and dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were dying to get Jimbo Fisher in there.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Jimbo left them.
Yeah, he did.
Something that Bobby Bowden wouldn't have done.
Correct.
So,
I mean, Jimbo just wanted to coach football, and he'll probably get back into it at some point. He can obviously be extremely picky when he's got that $75 million coming in from A&M. But Bobby Bowden loved being the CEO. He loved shaking hands with the boosters. I know that from people in the know. And Jimbo did not like doing that. He liked coaching football, and that's where that's why it wasn't the best fit. Even though he won a national title there. Jimbo Fisher did a really good job for a while at Florida State, and they went down 2 right after Jameis left.
Then he went to Texas A&M where...
Had one great year, a bunch of decent years, but the great year was 2020 where they just missed out on the playoff.
It seemed like he was able just to coach football, and he had his donors just writing checks, which was nice.
Yeah, it just didn't work at A&M, they needed a new face in there, but... Ready to talk some NFL?
Let's go.
All right. So Seattle, who the Bucs will play this week, got it done on Thursday. Darnold played pretty well. And
your little Munchkin buddy.
The mayor of Munchkin Town, he
couldn't get it done.
He could not. Marvin Harrison, multiple drops. Didn't look good.
No. He was, like I said last week, he's what did I say that you didn't know what the hell I was talking about? He's up and down.
Marvin Harrison, he is.
Yeah.
He is. And I saw more this weekend from highlights from him, and not even highlights, the low lights, but he's had some concentration issues. And for a guy that was picked in the top 5, he is not, you need to be dominant. And you were right last week. I was wrong about Marvin. And it's not just because of this last week. It's the body of work. I went and did more research on that. He has been disappointing when you're drafted this high as he was at the receiver position. And especially when you see a guy like Egbuka, who you were supposedly way better than.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in the NFL right now that would rather have Marvin Harrison Jr. than Emeka Egbuka?
No.
Or Jackson Smith and Jigba, who also was an Ohio State player Anybody out there choosing Marvin Harrison over him right now? If you have to take a pick,
I don't think so.
I agree. So Marvin Harrison needs to step it up. Not like he's a hard worker. He obviously added the weight this year, but he's just having lapses in judgment. I mean, Kyler Murray had one of those interceptions was a perfect ball right off Marvin Harrison's hands. So I can't fault Murray for one of those. But Darnold played well overall. That's very efficient. 18 and 26, 242, 1 touchdown, no picks. Kenneth Walker ran the ball well, and I believe Charbonnet. They have a nice 1-2 punch at running back. The Bucs are a great team against the run. So going to be a matchup of strength versus strength this week.
Hopefully we can get a little pressure on Darnold, shake him up a little bit.
I saw Reddick has a stinger. I haven't heard an update on him. Have you?
No, I have not.
He's made a big play in every game this year so far.
Let's just hope that hopefully he comes out and he steps it up.
Yeah,
because we definitely will need him.
We need Reddick and Diaby to be good pass rushers. Like I said, Reddick's made a splash play in every game this year so far. He's got a stinger. He's probably going to be questionable. I haven't seen an update, but Vita Vea has been great in the middle as always. And I hope the Bucs. We'll talk about that game more in a minute. But that's Seahawks matchup is coming up this week at Seattle. Tough place to play. One of the best home field advantages in sports.
I want to get. And this was a question we had for you, because I want to see what your take is on it. With the amount of field goal blocks and punt blocks this year, what are they doing differently than they have in the past? What has changed?
I wish I knew. I was trying to figure out the same thing. I'm looking to find somebody who's going to detail what's going on with all the blocks. I know.
Is it because you can make a little bit more contact with long snappers?
That rule's the same. That rule hadn't changed.
I thought there was a little bit of time that you couldn't hit him at the head.
I believe it's the same as last year, though. So, and like I know I was watching that Vikings-Steelers game. They got one block from the outside. Yeah. Isaiah Rodgers, who is one of the fastest players in the NFL. He's from down here in
Yeah, but if you're pinching in, right? If everyone's pinching in because they're getting through that A gap. So that's where a couple of them are coming through. They're chipping off the long snapper who's not getting up quick enough. Plus, long snappers they're getting smaller too.
Correct. They are. But we always said a field goal should never be blocked from the outside. That's an operation. That's an operating time mistake. And it's an unbelievably fast guy who blocked it. Isaiah Rodgers he's one of the fastest, most explosive athletes in the NFL. He blocked it from the outside. I would love to know if the Steelers are saying it was a slow operation. I would bet it was.
Because if you're looking at it, and if you're looking at the past, and obviously now special teams is coming up big, especially the last couple of weeks. It's like just coming from the A gap inside, or it's coming from that outside. And it's like if they come in from, like obviously they're breaking down film, they're seeing something where the long snapper is taking that like half a little second maybe to come up, and he's weak on one side, so you got your special teams that's trying to come down on the block to help him out a little bit, and that's kind of giving that advantage on the outside.
So the Buccaneers one came right up the middle, and it was the first punt of the game, obviously, so that you got to give the Eagles special teams coach credit. He schemed something up. He knew exactly he knew that somebody was going to be free based on numbers. It's a numbers game, and they got a free guy up the middle. The long snapper went one way. The second guy came around that, and the personal protector had to block somewhere else. So they schemed something up, and I'm sure that won't happen again for the Bucs in terms of that exact block, but they got exposed on that one. That was a great job by the Eagles getting a free rusher up the middle. And also there's the risk of blocking. Yeah, go back to that view.
See, I hate this short.
The risk of blocking, going for a pump block and getting a roughing is it's much easier to block it up the middle. When you come off the edge, you're much more likely to get a roughing the kicker, roughing the punter. So coming up the middle.
Here we go.
I was just walking into my seat at this point.
So look here, right here. Okay, so
Ryan Miller's the personal protector, but can you see the numbers?
Not really.
But watch right up the gut. The long snapper does help out.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's coming in. He's coming down.
But it was the long snapper's guy.
Yeah.
So.
And no one pinched down to him. You got everyone blocking.
That's man over there. So I wonder if, go back to the beginning of the play.
So here we go. So got everyone right there, one right there. You're looking at it. You pause it right here. The long snapper's already been blown up.
Play at full speed?
I mean,
I guess you just have to wait till his head comes up, right? That's supposedly the rule.
Yeah. And I mean, long snappers are getting smart, but I mean, like, look right here. So it looks like the stunt that they ran is they lined up
Ryan Miller's responsible for the guy that comes in second, and he does his job. So I think this is I'm sure the long snapper got chewed out.
Yeah, it looks like they did a stunt. Is that 88? I can't even tell who that is.
That's Otten. It's either Otten or Anthony Nelson,
so
98.
I don't think has anyone in front. So they lined up two on the long snapper.
Yep.
With a little stunt.
Long snapper just gets beat. Ryan Miller gets his guy fine. Long snapper just gets beat.
But I think he lost out to the guy that was lined up on him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. And then he came around.
Ryan Miller blocks the guy.
It looks like he gives him a forearm, like kind of a little knock. No, not really.
I mean, that's just your beat right there.
Yeah.
You're in a bad position. But he also snapped it. The snap was 1.5 yards right. I don't know if it was supposed to be, but look where you see the.
Yep. Look, he had to react. Yeah.
So I wonder if that was both. I wonder if it was a bad snap that put the block point closer to.
He had to rush it.
I don't know, but that was a huge play in the game. Obviously, I thought the Bucs defense in the second half was phenomenal. Obviously, holding Hurts to 0 yards passing in the second half is incredible. Incredible.
Let's see here. If
you looking at another pump block?
This guy has his. He said how the Eagles study their way to a touchdown. So they're looking at this game against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was, and I haven't seen this video yet. I was saying, remember,
you got 3 guys on the center's left.
Yep.
So right there, you got
4 guys to block 3.
So the personal protector is not going over there. The personal protector is moving to the right,
which he did.
He did.
But see, if you look at it, the long snapper Miller, right?
I don't even know long snapper's name for the Bucs.
I don't either.
Who ends up blocking this kick for the Saints? Does it come from the outside?
Did they block it?
I don't know. They're saying they're just studying it.
I'm thinking they're seeing where coming in. Because if you look, the long snapper gets blown up again on his right side.
Yeah.
And the protector.
Ryan Miller gets 2. Ryan Miller helped out there a lot.
So the protector had to come up for the long snapper, which wouldn't help on the outside.
He was able to get everybody else's man. Sean Tucker's got.
Yep, there you go.
It could be a gap scheme. They're just the gap outside of them.
So, which that is not what happened against the Eagles.
But also go back to where he kicked it from. Go back to that one. He kicks it from. He's lined up off center again, which the centers oftentimes are. And he's angled to the left, obviously.
Yep.
Here he's lined up straight. So, again, I don't know if the Bucs are telling the snapper to snap it over that direction and the kicker to punter to angle it.
I guess we could see on this one, too, right here.
He's lined up dead straight there. The snap is dead straight.
Yeah.
And is his approach dead straight? It looks like it is.
So, it looks like it all came down. But, I mean, look, yeah.
That type of punt, that ends up being the difference in the game.
But look right there. I mean, that still was almost blocked coming through, and he was just, He
got enough of them on that one, though.
Yeah. I think it's just the long snapper. I mean, the long snappers are getting smaller.
And the smart teams are putting a physical guy on the long snapper.
Who's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, so I think the big upset, everybody was surprised to see the Giants win that game.
Yes. 21-18 against the Chargers.
Against a good Chargers team, the Giants defense came to play. And Jackson Dart gets his first win in his first start. He brought some juice. He didn't do too much in the pass game. He did run the ball. I want to say he had 60 yards rushing, which if you watch him in Ole Miss, he can run the ball. 10 for 54. But they ran for 161 yards, and obviously Russell Wilson doesn't really run anymore. Russell Wilson used to be a great runner, but he just really doesn't run anymore.
Nope.
And that's New York's going to have a quarterback that can run again.
Which is,
They did lose Neighbors for the year. I know everybody saw that. And the Chargers lost Joe Alt, their stud left tackle.
Which is going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. But the Chargers are a good team. That was Daboll's trying to save his job. But I think that was the big surprise in last week's NFL lineup.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say, the Rams came away against the Colts. Danny Dimes didn't look too bad. He had a costly interception toward the end of the game.
But
the Rams are a good team.
Stafford's playing lights out.
And
Stafford's playing great.
Yeah, Pikachu,
he's good.
13 receptions, 107
Is he
yards.
leading the NFL so far in yards? I would bet he is. He is a big, strong, physical player. Great in the screen game. Let's see, receiving. Puka Nacua, he's got 100 more yards than the next guy.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah,
and then
503 to 402.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. But check out the bounce backs. Falcons played terrible 2 weeks ago. They beat a pretty good Redskin team.
Yeah, but
Marcus. There's no Jaden Daniels. There's Marcus Mariota. But Bills took care of the Saints.
Lions took care of the Browns. Those teams, they took care of it. The Panthers took care of the Panthers.
And on the other side of the coin, the Panthers played great last week, and they just get steamrolled by a Patriots offense who hasn't done much this year, but
they showed up.
Showed up. Drake May had a very good game, 14-17 for 203. Anytime you're completing 80+% of your passes, it's a pretty damn good day.
And then obviously we talked about the Bucks.
Yeah, I was pleased with the Bucks' heart. There's no moral victories, but you get a punt blocked, you get off to a terrible start.
In my opinion, it was I know they got a field goal, but 14-0, pretty much right off the bat. Yeah,
real quick. And I think at halftime, it didn't look good. How about a 65-yard field goal? That was pretty awesome.
That was impressive.
But 24-3, almost halftime. Bucks make a long kick, and you think to yourself, man, can we even get back in this game? And the Bucks had the ball down by 8 twice in the final 6 minutes of the game. That's all you can ask for in terms of circumstance, to get the ball, be a one-possession game late. They did it. Baker threw the pick on the first one. That ball did get tipped.
It did get tipped. It was going to Godwin in the back.
Yeah, and it did get redirected a little bit. I still think it wasn't a smart decision, which I'm sure he'll tell you the same. It got tipped and ended up in the hands of the linebacker, but he should have just thrown it away. It was first down and 10 at the 11. And I'm sure he would.
But Godwin was open. You played quarterback. You know that Godwin was open. If he hits the right spot, if that doesn't get tipped, he's got a chance. Godwin has a chance to make a play.
I'm sure he was attempting to put it in a place where only Godwin can catch it. The redirect, I couldn't tell how much it redirected, but it definitely was deflected and went right to a linebacker.
Another big win. Jaguars over the 49ers.
Yep. But I will say that was Baker's first turnover over the year. He's gotten away with a few so far this year, which if you watch Baker, that's the one criticism of him, that he will throw the ball. He will throw balls that the other team has a chance to pick.
He throws it in spots that you're going, why throw it in that chance?
He's gotten lucky a few times this year. I love Baker. I love him. But that is the knock on him, that he will throw some interceptions from time to time, and he will fumble from time to time because he extends plays. But that's some of the good. You have to take some of the bad if you're going to accept all the good that comes with playing the way he plays. Which he plays. I mean, I love Baker. He is the best quarterback for the Bucks team that could have replaced Tom Brady. I'm super happy he's here.
Yeah,
and but got to criticize. He puts the ball on the ground a little bit, and he did the other day. He recovered it, but. Like I said, it's sometimes the bounces go your way. The other way, he had his first turnover of the year. But I always say at the beginning of the year, if you can have a quarterback who has less than 12 turnovers on the whole season, you're going to have a good chance to win. And that was Baker's first turnover.
Yeah, Bucky had a costly fumble that.
Yep,
it was a little close.
I thought that was. I mean, the wrist. Yeah, I thought when they showed it on replay, I was like, oh, his wrist hit the ground. That's the ground causing the fumble. That's going to be Bucks ball. And you saw the Bucks offense go back on the field. They thought the same thing, and then they said the call is upheld.
Yeah, which I don't know when wrist wasn't part of your form, but
Yep, learn something new every week, right?
yeah, Jaguars. Purdy came back, 309 yards, 2 TDs wasn't enough to beat the Jaguars, who are 3-1.
3-1 Jaguars.
It's good for the Jaguars.
Well, ETN's having a great year.
Yeah,
ETN's having a really good year. He had 124 rushing, and so far this year he's got 394. He's also a good threat out of the backfield. He's got, he only has 30 yards receiving this year, but at 394 yards rushing at 6.1 a carry is really good.
Chiefs took care of business against the struggling Ravens. One of those teams had to get a second win.
The Chiefs, we talked about it a little bit last week. The Chiefs are good. We know the Chiefs are a good team. Xavier Worthy was a great. He had a great amount of juice coming back to the team. Obviously, everyone knows he ran the 4.22 at the combine. He is a fast guy. You have to account for him. Him being back in the lineup, he made a couple big plays. He helps the team a lot. Rashee Rice comes back in 2 more weeks. After 2 more weeks, they'll get more help, and the Chiefs are going to be fine. And Ravens, Lamar's hamstring. Have you heard anything about it?
No. And the way he left the game just looked like he was quitting.
I think they told him you're done. There's no need. They're getting whooped. I don't think Lamar is competitive. I'm not going to say Lamar's a quitter at all. I think he's a.
I'm just saying the way it looked. He just got up, walked over. No one knew what was going on. They at the time that the people they were talking and they were saying like medical was not around him. Then they came out and said that his hamstring.
Yeah, you have a guy that's an extremely fast athlete. Lamar obviously is a 4-4 player, and if he has a tight hamstring and you're losing a game by 3 possessions and late in the third quarter, early in the fourth, it was kind of, hey, let's keep our franchise healthy where this game is lost.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yep, which I get that. The Ravens, I looked at their schedule. I mean, they still get the Ravens got to fix some things because their only win this year is against the Browns. Every other game they've let up a lot of points. They've got to figure it out defensively. Bears went to 2-2. That's a big win for Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson because I know the Bears' schedule is tough.
Yeah, and the Bears, the Raiders are not an easy team either. I mean, Gentry had his first.
Gentry had a big game. And they have a terrible offensive line. They have a bad offensive line. You put him on a good team, and he's going to be every bit as good as Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs.
He's a little bowling ball.
Yeah, he's a great player. Give him some pieces up front, and you're going to see what he can do.
And then you got Packers Cowboys 40-40.
The tie. Oh my Lord.
I mean, no, I don't think anyone really is a fan of ties.
No,
they need to kind of figure that out.
They play a 15-minute period. The 10-minute overtime is 1 possession for each team, especially if you get 2 or 3 first downs.
Bubba thinks if let's just say you do give them more time, but then if you come down to it and it's still tied for whatever reason, to go to a kickoff. Start doing a kickoff, field goals, line it at the 40 or 50, and just start
back it up 5 yards every time.
Every time.
I mean,
whoever makes it, and just go from there.
Well, first of all, Dak played awesome. He has to play awesome for them to have a chance. Their defense is so bad.
Yeah, their defense is horrible.
Defense is terrible.
Horrible.
Terrible defense.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys' schedule, and they did that without CeeDee Lamb. He'll be out for a couple weeks. Cowboys, they have the Jets, Panthers, and Commanders.
They should come 2-1 out.
They should beat the Jets and should beat the Panthers.
Yeah, even
get back in the mix.
Those teams were on the road. They still should be able to win.
They should. If you're going to be a playoff team, you got to win those games.
And then you got Monday night games. Really no big surprise. Broncos took care of business. And
the Broncos look good, and the Bengals didn't show up. And I know they don't have Joe Burrow, but they were still 2-1. The Broncos are a good defense, and
their offense is just they're going to struggle without Burrow.
Yeah, but I expect when you have those type of, they can't run the ball at all right now, at all, and they didn't do shit in the pass game either yesterday. And Jake Browning, obviously he's not Joe Burrow, but he's got plenty of experience playing in Burrow's absences. They got dominated. They got out game planned. They didn't do a thing offensively. And Denver rushed for 200 yards. Bo Nix had a good game. Sean Payton, they dominated. They're up 21-3 at halftime. Played super conservative the second half, win 28-3. Dolphins game, obviously the big story was Tyreek Hill dislocating a knee. When you dislocate it,
you're done.
You're going to have some ligaments that get torn in there.
I think he said he had multiple ligaments torn.
That's not surprising. It was nasty. And
he looked happy being carted off, knowing that his season was done. He's done with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to get out if he does want to resume playing.
Yeah.
But they are saying that he might not be able to return for next season still, in the beginning of next season, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, you got to assume it's going to be basically a 12-month injury when you have a dislocated knee with multiple torn ligaments. But the Jets drove right down the field their first possession, ran the ball well, and fumble at the 1-yard line. And that is that's a killer. That's just a killer. And again, they lose by 1 score. Justin Fields is not a great passer. Did you see his touchdown run?
Yes.
I mean, you're a pretty spectacular athlete in the NFL when you can take a broken play as a quarterback and turn it into a touchdown run. I mean, that very few. Him and Lamar and maybe Kyler Murray are the only quarterbacks in the NFL that could probably do that. So he's a spectacular athlete, and his numbers ended up okay. 20 of 27 for 226 is fine, but I think if you watch Justin Fields play quarterback, you're not impressed with his ability to play quarterback. You're impressed with his ability to run and move.
Exactly, but I mean, if you look at 197 yards rushing for the Jets, I mean that's a lot. I mean, obviously, but.
You shouldn't lose a game in the NFL when you rush for that many yards.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have your quarterback run for 80 as much as your lead running
You should
back.
if it's Justin Fields. The run game should be a major part of your offense, the QB run game.
Yeah, but a lot of those runs I felt like were broken plays.
Correct, which is I'm saying that you have Justin Fields as your quarterback, you should have some built-in, Lamar Jackson runs the ball 5 to 10 times a game on design runs. Justin Fields is 15 to 20 pounds heavier than Lamar Jackson, and he's not as elusive, but he's basically as fast. So Justin Fields he's not an NFL quarterback because he's a great passer. He's an NFL quarterback because he's a good enough passer and he's an electric athlete. If you look back at his days in Chicago, he had his stats. I think it was second year as a starter. He had 1,143 yards rushing and 7 yards a carry as a runner.
Jeez.
I mean,
that's insane.
And then the next year, his carries dropped a little bit.
I think they were trying to make him more of a package.
Exactly. That's not who he is. I mean, he is an elite athlete, and it's a square peg round hole when you try to make him a pocket passer.
Yeah, because you can see the year after he had 60 more passes. And then he had obviously,
he missed a couple games the next year in 2023.
Yeah, but you can see where his trend was going down.
Yeah, but that second year, that's the formula. If you have Justin Fields as your quarterback, 160 carries, that's 10 carries a game. He started 15 games. He had 160 carries. That's 10.6 carries a game, and that's what they need. That's what you should do if Justin Fields is your quarterback.
Let's go to
this week's games.
Let's go to this week's games. We'll go down and pick them. I'll give you a sheet.
It's all right.
Paper stuff, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the printer to work.
We got Thursday, 49ers, Rams, two very good teams.
Yes. You know what? I'm excited. I like the Rams overall.
Same.
And I'm picking the Rams. I just like the way Stafford's playing. I like their whole offense. The Rams offense to me is flowing. Matt Stafford's playing like he's, 42. He's looking good.
He's looking really good. He really is. And he's always been an elite thrower of the football. He's playing great. I know Purdy had a little setback with his turf toe last week. He is still going to play.
They're going to have to rely more on McCaffrey and Mason.
Yep. Mason doesn't play there anymore. Mason's
Is he a Viking?
He's a Viking.
Is he?
Who is the 49ers backup running back right now?
I don't know. Great question. For some reason, I thought, let's see, depth chart.
Brian Robinson? Has he played yet?
I thought he was on Brian Robinson.
He got traded right before the season, traded or released. All right, he's got 22 for 96 so far this year. He's getting a few carries.
Okay.
And then Isaac Guerrero, second-year player from Louisville who's very, very fast. Has he gotten any carries yet this year? He has not. So Brian Robinson is the number 2 running back.
Not surprising.
But I think we both like the Rams in that game.
Yes. Then you got Minnesota at Cleveland. I think Carson, because I believe it is still the 9:30. Oh, okay, it's still in London.
I'm taking the Browns in an upset. Why? I don't know. I don't think the Vikings looked good last week. I'm taking the Browns in the upset in London.
Joe Flacco coming through, huh?
Flacco, he's coming through. Raiders, Colts.
That's a tough one.
The Colts have a bounce back.
Yeah, Danny Dimes. I think Danny Dimes does. Vegas.
They're
Vegas
a better team.
Vegas isn't there yet. But Indy, I think Indy's going to win it.
Yep, and they've been running the ball well every game this year, and they've got a good O-line, good run game. But again, I'm a big Genty fan. I hope they can get some O-line pieces around him, and Pete Carroll teams like to run the football. They're going to figure out how to run the football. Pete Carroll's going to be the coach there for several years. Genty's on a rookie deal, so they're going to get it right in a couple years. Genty's going to have a good team around him eventually, and we'll see what type of talent he has. Ooh, Giants Saints. Is Jackson Dart going to start the year 2-0, or will Spencer Rattler get his first NFL win?
I think New Orleans is just a horrible team right now. I think they're dog shit.
Giants win. They're favored. But Giants win. Giants are riding the little emotional lift of starting a rookie quarterback. You get that juice from that. And
they got Cambo back there,
Scatterbo.
Yeah, whatever.
The dude he seeks contact in every way.
Which is good. Yeah, New Orleans, they're only favored because Vegas gives you that 3-point spread. Dallas at New York.
Dallas has to win this game. Dallas has to win. If you're gonna, we just talked about it. You have to win this game if you're Dallas. I don't care that's on the road.
The Jets have to win this game.
The Jets aren't making the playoffs, and the Jets' expectations are not to make the playoffs. Aaron Glenn's first year. Does he get his first NFL victory? I think Cowboys. Did Aaron
Glenn? He played for the Cowboys, right?
He played for the Jets. He was a top 10 pick.
But did Aaron Glenn ever play for the Cowboys or have anything to do with the Cowboys?
You might be thinking of Terry Glenn.
Okay.
Terry Glenn was a receiver from Ohio State. Aaron Glenn was from Texas A&M. Aaron Glenn was I want to say he was a top 10 pick as a corner. I think he was 8th or 9th pick, but I'm going Cowboys. Broncos, Eagles. This is two good defenses. That's a good game. Lane Johnson's questionable. Right tackle, all-pro right tackle. He has
Jalen Hurts will throw for 150 yards.
150 yards, and the Eagles win. Hey, I'm taking Broncos.
I'm taking Broncos too. I like Bo Nix.
I like Sean Payton. Bo Nix is athletic. He can make things happen with his legs. I'm taking the Broncos. I don't think we're going to see a team in the NFL go better than about 14-3 this year. So Eagles lose their first game.
That's right. Miami at Carolina. I don't think Carolina bounces back. I think Miami just.
You think Miami gets there? Or is this the pillow fight of the week?
I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, Carolina's at home. Carolina seems to play a lot better at home. Miami's favored 1.5.
I'm taking the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Dolphins. They ran the ball well yesterday. They don't have Tyreek, but I'm taking the Dolphins.
Yeah, they got to rally around Waddle.
Yeah.
So
they have Achane and then Ollie Gordon at running back. They've got a good two-headed monster at running back. Let's see if they can.
They got to rely on him more.
They do.
Houston at Baltimore. Ugh.
Ooh, one of these teams is going to be 1-4.
Yeah, shit.
AFC matchup.
Houston's a scary team.
They've got good talent. C.J. Stroud has played very mediocre football for about 15 or 16 straight games. I'm going to take the Ravens. I assume Lamar is going to play, and I assume the Ravens are. The Ravens, I have them as a playoff team. I got to stick with them. They're going to win this game.
Cooper Rush is the backup. That's right.
Cooper Rush is a very experienced backup.
Yep.
It was a weird signing to me because I think Cooper Rush is a good football player. He obviously played well in Dallas, but normally your backup quarterback is a similar skill set to the starter. Cooper Rush obviously is not Lamar Jackson. It's just odd that that's your backup when you have Lamar as the starter, but I'm taking the Ravens. Titans, Cardinals. Titans are a dumpster fire.
Yes, Titans are bad. They got the F rating. I saw it.
They look bad.
Came out for a rating for the rest of the league, and the Titans were the F. They're lost. The Munchkin Brigade or whatever.
Yeah, Mayor of Munchkin Town.
Yeah, and I think this is a game that Marvin Harrison shows up, has a decent game. I think he gets, I'll call it 6 catches, over 100 yards, and a touchdown. Arizona wins.
All right. I'm taking Arizona also. I'm not going to get specific like you did just now.
Well, I was going to say, this is Marvin Harrison's one game he shows up for and gives you that hope that he figured it out and is going to turn it around. And then,
I'm going to call Trey Benson, has over 100 yards rushing, and the Cardinals win.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Tampa Bay at Seattle.
Tough.
Game.
They're 3.5 point underdogs. Let's come back to this one at the end. I think we're both going to choose the Lions and Bengals. Lions, Bengals. We're both going to choose the Lions, obviously. I mean, that's 9.5 point spread. I think it's going to go up even more.
Yep.
And it's going to be the one NFL game this week with a double-digit point spread. But
then you got Washington at the Chargers.
They bounce back. Yeah, I haven't heard if Daniels is playing.
I was going to say, is he back yet?
I have not heard. But I'm good.
Chargers are safe with Herbert.
Yeah,
safe, but it's a safe pick.
It's a safe pick. Chargers are good. They're at home, even though the Rams are really the home team in LA. The Chargers talk about they are sometimes outnumbered, which Eagles fans were about a third of that stadium the other day.
Yeah, they always are.
They were. It was a lot of Eagles fans there, but Chargers win that game. Patriots, Bills. I'm taking the Bills. I'm taking the Patriots.
Really?
I'm going to take the Patriots.
7.5 point spread. Buffalo at home. You're riding the hot streak on New England. I can't pick against.
Kind of the same logic I said earlier. The Bills, nobody's going undefeated. They're going to have a little slip up this week in prime time. Drake May this might be his first Sunday night start. Hey, I'm taking the Patriots. I like Vrabel.
There you go.
I like Vrabel. In the Monday night game, we got Chiefs, Jaguars, the surprising Jags at 3-1. The Chiefs win this game. Chiefs get back in the
Chiefs are back in it?
They looked good last week. The Chiefs can slow down the Jaguars. Jaguars don't get to 20 points. Chiefs win the game.
Wow.
Yep. The Chiefs, when the Chiefs are playing well, they're a really good defensive team, and they win this game. So back to the Bucs. The key to the game, you got to shut down the run. Kenneth Walker's a good running back. He's really good. Sam Darnold has historically, I remember his last start with the Panthers against the Bucs. You can always see Darnold's talent, but I'm going to say the Bucs keep Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet under 100 total yards rushing, and the Bucs can pull out a 24-16 win.
Nice. I think Godwin. I know they were targeting a good amount, especially for his first game back.
I think he was on a little bit of a pitch count. I think he'll get more action this week.
Yep. I think he's going to be a difference maker. I think their defense steps up. They go up to Seattle. They win 28-20.
28-20, and I have 24-16. We both have 8 points for the Bucs.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Go Tampa.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Grant.
That was fun, man. I got to head out of here. I appreciate it as always.
I appreciate you. I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, everyone. And we'll be back here live 6 a.m. Zip.